sci-fi skirmish scenarios featuring Necromunda. We're going old hammer today, baby. The game of, well, it's not really the Underhive battles. We're going to the Sprawl, which is a setting that John Lambshead provides us in sci-fi skirmish scenarios. And here's the crew of the Blackraven, our heroes. This is Cobalt 15, a reformed warbot turned honest broker. He's actually been hired to pick up some cargo, but he got ambushed on the way to pick up the cargo, and he got ambushed by the guy who stole the cargo, and then he hunted down the guy that picked it up. The leader of the gang known as the Scuttlers, we're going to take a look at them. And today he is found out where the goods are stored, and he's going to go. Now, I know, if you saw last week, we're playing scenario 6-6 out of sci-fi skirmish fights, and it's a tag battle. It's really written for, like, rival gangs, which we don't have. So instead, the Scuttlers are trying to get to the ship to sabotage it, and our heroes are trying to get to the Scuttlers' home base. If they can bust in, they can get the goods and get out. This is Lieutenant Dane. He's armed with a long rifle, but he's pretty good at melee, although he only has a knife. And then our resident wizard, the Magic Space Baby, and this is Monk E. I should also point out that most of the Psyker skills that our Magic Space Baby has, they're not offensive in power. They're related to movement, defense, and he's got a couple of heal spells as well. And then Monkey is a melee combat master. We found that these guys are a little bit OP, so this time around, we are not only going to add in 2 more guys, we're going to add in a guy with an autocannon. He is the first time we've seen a heavy weapon specialist in our return to old school Necromunda, or as I cheekily like to call it, to tweak the noses of the young pups these days, real Necromunda. Not this new Coke version of Necromunda with the small boards, although I'm playing on a small board, so maybe I should just shut up. Anyway, we got 1 heavy, and then the rest of these guys are pretty much armed, as you see. Shotgun, autogun. We got a pistol and a knife, and a guy, 2-gun Pete there. So there you go. And here is our version of the Sprawl. We're in a kind of mixed industrial residential, so you've got a little residential complex down here. The Scuttlers, that's our gang that is responsible for all the trouble. They have a food truck down here where they store the goods. What are the goods? Doesn't really matter. I mean, we're doing kind of a Mission Impossible thing here. You got to break in. Over here, we can see a starport, kind of ship's landing zone over. That's where the Blackraven has landed. Now, the victory conditions for this scenario are very easy. Move a figure in contact with your enemy's home base. That's this side of the truck for the Scuttlers, and the stairs for the Blackraven. If you can get your guy to touch that area first, your team wins. We have to roll off to see who deploys first, and the blue force will be Cobalt 15. We're going to start off with Cobalt and Magic Space Baby down here on the southern part of the map. Everybody has to deploy behind this line. Monkey is going to be our, our safety, our free safety. He's going to kind of roam around here, jumping on the first guy to show up. You do get to put 1 guy. We're going to drop Lieutenant Dane hiding right there. He is, if he gets to, he's going to start the game hidden. Unfortunately, we got to declare that first. Over on this side of the board, the Scuttlers are going to start their 2 long gunners, shotgun and an autogun, heading up the north side of the board. They're 2 melee fighters. This guy's got 2 pistols. This guy's got the pistol and the sword. They're going to kind of run up through the middle zone here where there's a lot more cover. And then they put their heavy gunner. Now, the auto gunner, he's got an auto cannon. He can lay down a ferocious amount of fire. We'll talk about what he can do when it's his turn to do it. For now, just understand that he has to either move or shoot. So he's hunkered down and he's playing free safety. He's just going to light up anybody that gets within sight of him. That's only 5 guys. We have 1 more guy. He is armed with an auto gun himself. And just like the Blackraven was cheating, so are the Scuttlers. Now, he can be placed anywhere on the board within 6 inches of Lieutenant Dane. So we could put him back here, but I think instead what we'll do is we'll drop him over on this roof right here. And that way he can do some suppressing fire on Lieutenant Dane. Maybe. Now we have to figure out who gets to go first, and it's just a simple roll-off. And with a 2, force red. So the Scuttlers will get to take the first activation. In Necromunda, in fine Games Workshop fashion, everybody moves. Our heavy is not moving. We're going to put a little marker down next to him to remind us that he is on Overwatch. Everybody else will move. You can move up to 4 inches and shoot, or you can move 8 inches. And because we are in a hurry, we're going to go ahead and move these guys Because they have to slip through there, through this little gap. However you want to argue, if they move 2 inches this way and 6 inches this way, they're going to run up and take cover behind. Let me lift this up so you can see. They are taking cover behind this tree right there. Then these two melee boys. Now the first guy, if he runs 8 inches, he can take cover behind this pallet of bricks. The other guy, unfortunately, is only going to be able to move, well, this is 6 inches. He's going to make it up to that light post. So he's in cover with respect to Lieutenant Dane up there. And I think that's everybody for movement. Our Scuttler has a ballistic skill of 3. Our Scuttler has a ballistic skill of 3. He is only 6 inches away. Remember, we know that. He's shooting at a figure that is in cover. So he gets +1 for being short range, -1 because his target is in cover. He needs a 4 or better to hit. And with a 6, he hits, but there's a chance he is out of ammunition with that autogun. He needs to make an ammo roll on a 4 or better. He does not. He is now out of ammo. To signify that, I'm going to use a blue... Oh, you know what? I'm going to use green for Overwatch. Green means go. Blue means out of ammunition. So he's going to have to... I think we know who our runner is now, don't we? In the meantime, that is a hit. So Lieutenant Dane is pinned. He goes down face up. He has to make a wound check, and he has a toughness of... I think his toughness is 3. Lieutenant Dane, toughness 3 against an autogun with a strength of 3. On a 4, 5, or 6, he's wounded. And on 1, he is not. So he is pinned. He's going to have to spend his entire next turn standing up, unless he passes a leadership check. But I think I got to look. I think you can only do that if you have a friend within, 3 inches of you. It's 2 inches. If you have a friend within 2 inches, you can test to escape pinning at the start of your turn. That's not the case. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. He got shot near the edge. Won't Lieutenant Dane fall? No, he's behind cover. If you're behind a balcony or a railing of some sort, there's no fall chance. If he was standing up here, there would be a fall chance. Next thing we're going to do is bring our Monk E. Now, he normally can only move 8 inches, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring him up to right there. Now, he does have Leap as a skill. If we wanted to try to jump over to here, I'm going to do that. We're going to try to get him a little bit further. He's going to leap an additional 4 inches. He is one quick little son of a gun, ain't he? Next, if we can roll a 6 or less with Magic Space Baby, then he can teleport, and on a 10 we fail. All right, that's fine. If we roll boxcars, something bad happens. I think I said Snake Eyes before. Well, that being the case, we're going to have to bring Cobalt 2 inches over to here, and then we'll bring him another 6 inches up to right about there, and he is out of sight of all of the opposition force, but we've got him a little bit closer. I think that's it. Then at the end of the turn, Lieutenant Dane will stand up, and he's ready for more action. That's the end of the first turn. And before we turn the page to turn number 2, I forgot. In the Sprawl, things have a habit of changing on a dime. In fact, I wanted to do this at the start of the game, but to be honest with you, I kind of forgot with all the excitement. We have a Treacherous Conditions chart. I'm going to make a roll on that. And to do that, we're going to roll the blue as the tens place. We roll a percentile, D percentile. The whole area is covered with a horrible thin film of slime, but is nothing more than an annoyance. Okay, well, continue the fight as normal. Hey, at least we tried, huh? We're going to move this first guy up 4 inches to here, one of our melee boys. This other melee boy is going to use all 8 inches of his movement to come up to this post right here. And I think that's it for movement. No, this guy is going to work his way down. And he's got to go through the inside. That's a 3-inch high, that's 2.5 inches. We're going to call it 4 inches to get out. And then he's going to run, he's going to go ahead and make a break for it. And he's going to hoof it right over behind this tree right here. I know you can't see it. Take my word for it. He's taking cover. He's going to draw Monkey E out, and then these two guys can race over, if we take out Dane up there. We are done with moving this turn. Now it's time for gunfire. All 3 of our shooters, 1, 2, and 3, are hitting on 4s with a ballistic skill of 3. However, we're going to do this in a particular order. Our auto gun is at +1 for short range, -1 for cover. He is going to be hitting on a 4 or higher. On a 1, he misses. We also have a shotgun back here. Now, the shotgun is going to be able to fire at nothing. He's using a scatter shot, though, which negates the effect of cover. He will be at -1 because of the range. He's only got a +1 to 4 inches because of that scatter shot. So he's overall at a -1. Oh, you know, that being the case, oh, he would be at -2 if he used the solid slug. So he's at -1. He needs a 5 or a 6 to hit. And he misses as well. So our pistol guy down here, he's got 1 shot. Remember, he only moved 4 inches. And you can move and shoot without penalty. But because he is using an auto pistol, he needs to be within 8 inches to be at short range. And we can check to see, well, there's 8 inches right there. So he is at short range, and an auto pistol at short range is going to be at +2, -1 for cover. It's going to be a total of +1. So he only needs a 3 or better to hit. And he hits. Lieutenant Dane is pinned again. Is he hurt? The auto pistol has a strength of 3. And he is not hurt. He is merely pinned again. So he's slowing him down a little bit, but that's about all. That's the end of the Scuttler's turn. Magic Space Baby is going to try to use his brain to brainwalk. And with a 3, he gets it. That means he gets to move D3 inches in any direction. And he gets to move exactly as far as he would if he just strolled. Okay, well, he's going to go ahead and move to right here. And that at least gets him back up with Cobalt, who's going to move 2 inches to here. And then he can move another 4 inches to there, kind of peeking around the corner. And the last order of business for this turn, the last buddy that needs to move is Monk E, who can move a total of 12 inches when he charges into combat. He's only 7 inches away from this guy, and he is only 7 inches away from this guy. But I think we need to stop the unarmed feller first. Now, the guy that's unarmed, he just has a knife, which is not technically unarmed. What we're going to do is we're going to roll 1 die for the Scuttler. He adds 3. That's his weapon skill. Monk E is going to be rolling 2 dice because he is classed as having a sword. He's got his steel claws, and he has that low-powered plasma pistol. Now, the trick here is that for every other wound that... So, how do I put this? If Monkey gets 1 wound, it's going to be a strength 4 wound. If he does 2 wounds on the guy, we're going to have to roll 2 different dice because one's going to be strength 4, one will be strength 3. But we may be getting a little ahead of ourselves. Monkey has a ballistic skill or melee skill. It's called weapon skill. I always forget that. But it's basically melee. He's got a melee skill of 4 versus 3. So we're just going to add 2. 1 for the charge, 1 for the improved weapon skill to the blue dice. And we just take the highest of the blue dice. There is one other thing that we can do. We could roll. We have what's called a parry. We can force our enemy to re-roll this die. Sometimes I forget that. That's one of the abilities of the sword. We're not going to do that. We're happy with this. We have beat him by 1 with the additional +2. We have 3 wounding strikes. As I said, we're going to do 2 strength 4s. These will wound on a 3. This red one is the sword. It will wound on a 4 or better. And we get a total of 3 hits. That is enough to put our Scuttler out of action. Way to go, Monkey. He is just a combat monster. Then he can make a follow-up move of up to 2 inches. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring him over here behind this corner to take him out of the line of fire of these 2 Scuttlers over there. And that's going to be the end of the... No, that's not the end of the turn. Dane, stand up. He's our little shooting gallery. Bing. And then he stands up. Bing. And then he's like a little duck. But he is forcing these guys to slow down, and that may buy Cobalt and the Magic Space Baby time to get across the table. For movement, our boy with the shotgun is going to run up to here and take cover behind that corner. The guy with the auto gun is going to move over to here and take cover behind this, and we'll just move it over a little bit so you can see he's taking cover behind that car. And do we move this guy? I think we do. I think we could probably take him a full 6 inches up to here. Dane is going to be in trouble. And that forces Monkey to... Maybe we should bring all of these guys up. Monkey can't stop them all, can he? If we try to bring this guy, he's... Yeah, you know what? We're going to bring our Mr. Shot... Oh, I know what it is. We're bringing our Mr. Shotgun over here. Now, we're going to force him to make his choice. We're bringing Mr. Shotgun behind that tree. That's 8... He was behind this first tree. That's only 7 inches. He's going to stop right there. And now Monkey is going to be hard-pressed. Monkey is... Well, I could probably slide my camera over and show you. There's Monkey, and he's going to have to choose between the guy behind the tree and the guy behind the car. Meanwhile, we're not done with all of our movement yet. This... Oh, what do we do with this guy? We need to... Well, and I'll show you the reason I'm asking that question. Because if I pull back a little bit, here's Cobalt. This guy is going to have to deal with Cobalt, I think. Interesting tactical choices. That's what we want. In fact, we are going to bring him over here, and he's going to take a shot at Cobalt. Has everybody that moved that we want to move? Yes, they have. So we might as well start with our Pistolero down here. He is firing at close range. There's your 6 inches. Because he's within 6 or 8 inches actually for pistol, he's going to be a +2. But Cobalt is peeking behind the corner. That's going to be a -1. So a total of +1 to the die roll. We need a 3 or better to hit. And with a 5 we do. Cobalt is going to be pinned. And we got to roll to see if he is wounded. Let's run the numbers first, shall we? It's a strength 3 hit against Cobalt with a toughness of 3. A 4, 5, or a 6 will wound him, and with a 3, he is not wounded. He is merely pinned. Now, why would we turn our backs on Lieutenant Dane up there? Well, first we have our auto gun taking a shot at a total of 4, 5, or 6 to hit. And with a 6 he hits, he needs to make an ammo check. His ammo is fine. Lieutenant Dane is pinned again. And this time, with a 2, he's still not hurt. The man knows how to use cover, which is part of the reason why we were okay with putting this guy in a line of fire. If Lieutenant Dane had been missed, Lieutenant Dane would have an open shot on him. But there's one other shot on Lieutenant Dane. Lieutenant Dane is way up here. Our autocannon is way down here. Let me lock that focus in so you guys aren't too weirded out by that. We need to break out our tape measure. Is he within 20 inches? Dane is 19 inches away, putting him at... Well, actually, it doesn't matter because this gun can fire up to 40 inches. And I'm sorry, I said it was an autocannon. It's a heavy stubber. Autocannons are absolutely terrifying. They're way outside the range of what we want to do here. These are gangers. These are not professional military types. So it fires what's called sustained fire die. 2d3 shots. And this will be 3. This will be 2. So he's going to be lighting up Dane with a total of 5 shots. This means he is going to be rolling 5 dice to hit. Normally it's going to be hitting on 4s because Dane is behind cover. This will be on 5s, so we just need to get any 5s. We get a total of 3 6s, so that's 3 hits on Lieutenant Dane. These are strength... Ooh, let me check my cheat sheet here. I think these are strength 4 hits. They are, so we're going to be wounding on 3s. We get a total of 2 wounding hits, and we turn Dane face down. He is not out of the game just yet. We're going to start down here in the compound on the movement phase. Our leader, Cobalt, if he can roll an 8 or less, if he can pass a leadership check, he can stand up and act as normal because Magic Space Baby is right there with him. And he passes. So good job, Magic Space Baby. We appreciate the help. He will then use his activation to charge into melee with this figure right here. Magic Space Baby is going to try to teleport once more. And with an 8, he is going to fail. That will be it for his activation. Then we have one more guy that needs to move, and of course that's Monk E, who will charge into combat with this figure right here. He's the closest to the spaceship. We gotta do it. But we do melee last. We have... Well, wait a minute. We're on melee now, aren't we? We'll do the combat in the foreground first. Cobalt has dual auto pistols, weapon skill of 4. He's going to be at +1 on his dice. But this time he's going up against a guy with a trick up his sleeve of his own. This guy might only have a weapon skill of 3, but he's got a pistol and a sword. So the red guy, he's going to roll, we'll just roll them both. They both get to roll 2 dice. And old Mr. Red, because of the sword, could make Cobalt re-roll one of his dice. We take the highest dice out. And if he wanted to, if we wanted to risk it, I should probably show you what the results are. It's a 6 versus a 4, meaning that Cobalt charged, so that's a tie right now. We're going to use the reroll to see if we can get Cobalt lower. If Cobalt rolls a 1, 2, or a 3, then the Scuttler will win this. On a 5 or 6, Cobalt wins. And there you go. So now Cobalt with a 3 has lost by 1. Our fighter is going to try to wound Cobalt on a, and what's Cobalt's toughness? Oh, on a 4, 5, or a 6, because it's strength 3, toughness 3. No wound, so the combat will continue on the next turn. But that's okay. That's a win for the Scuttlers because it ties up a tough fighter for 1 round. I'm really surprised that he won that. Then we're going to go back over here to the background where we've got same thing. It's going to be 2 on 2, +1 to the blue dice. And Monk E now has the reroll because Monk E has his steel claws, which count as a reroll. And we're not going to use that reroll because we're very happy. We have okay. So first of all, this is a fumble. It turns this die into a 4. So we'll take that out. This 5 becomes a 4. And then we got a pair of deuces. So we'll take one of those 2s out. And this is our final score. Monk E gets a final score of 8. His opponent has a 5. We've done 3 hits. The blue dice are strength 4 hits. The blue dice are going to do 2 wounds, and we can move a total of 2. So we've wiped this guy out. And Monkey can move 2 inches, and he's going to move the 2 inches to here. He is out of line of sight of that last guy with the gun over here. And I don't know what we think about that. Is that good or is that bad? The next thing we have to do is check our boy up here. I was supposed to roll these wound dice at the time that Dane took these 2 wounds to find out exactly what happens. So I'm going to roll those now. On a 1, he takes flesh wounds. On a 6, if either of these are a 6, he's completely out of action. So on a 2 or a 3, he just lays there and bleeds. Now that happened, roll the clock back, right after he took those hits. Now we are at the end of the turn. This is the recovery phase. We'll roll again. Same dice, same rules apply. So on a 5, Dane is still going to lay there bleeding out. And that is the end of the turn. Except that Lieutenant Dane can crawl 2 inches. We're going to crawl him back over here so that he's out of line of sight of our big gunner, who is going to go on Overwatch now. Since he doesn't have any viable targets, I don't think he can see... Yeah, he can't see Cobalt because this container is in the way. With Lieutenant Dane down, this old boy is going to run up 8... Well, first, let's see. The first guy is going to make his run, is going to go 8 inches to here, and this guy is going to come 8 inches to here. And now, once again, Monk E has a... Well, he's going to stop right there, actually. That way Monk E can't see him. Monk E is going to... We're just kind of flooding the zone. Get as many guys over there as we can. Monk E is doing a phenomenal job holding them off while our guys try to get into position. This guy, of course, is in melee. He can't move. Is there anybody else that can? I don't think there is. Maybe, Monk E is terrifying. I think we need to take a shot at him. So I'm going to bring our shotgunner over right here. Monkey is not in cover. So we are going to have one shot there. Like I said, he's on Overwatch. So here's that shot. This shotgunner sidled on up to here and is unloading at close range. He is at +1 to hit. So he will be hitting on a 3 or better. This will be a strength 3 hit if he succeeds. 3 or better? Got him. So now Monkey goes down, and Monkey is pinned. Ooh, that's going to be a real problem. Monkey has to make a save, and on a 6... No, that's the wound check. Monkey is now hurt, and we make that D6 roll. And on a 3, Monkey is bleeding out. So we are in big trouble. We'll have to roll on the injury chart for both of these guys, unless they get coup de grace. But before we get to that point, we've got round 2. The blue dice will be at +1. The red player has 1 reroll in his arsenal. Red player says, I would like you to re-roll that 6 if you don't mind. So Cobalt, of course, doesn't, and gets the 6 anyway. That becomes a 5 because of the fumble. Cobalt is at a total of just +1 now because he didn't charge. So this becomes, well, +1 because he has the better weapon skill. That's a 6 versus a 3. That's 3 wounding hits. And once again, these are all strength 3 hits. Yes, so 3 strength 3 hits. And if we get a single, pow, there we go. This guy goes down. So we've cleared out half of them, but we don't have anybody back here stopping these two guys from racing to win the game. That's going to be a problem. This does end the turn for our boys, for these guys, for the scuttlers. Is there anything else? Yeah, nobody there needs to make a recovery. So play kicks over to our heroes. And all right, here's where it gets tricky. We're going to send Magic Space Baby over to here. He's going to move to there. If we can get into here, we may be able to heal these guys up. In the meantime, Cobalt is going to race to this corner right here. He can, and he's going to stop just out of sight of this guy. We need to deal with this area first. In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't we move him up to here? He's going to take cover. And if we move him just that little bit, then he will be at short range. Bear in mind, the fence just blocks movement. It takes 4 full inches to clamber over it. Does not block shooting. So we are going to be able to take a shot at this guy. And I think that's all we're going to be able to do. And fortunately, this is blocking out the heavy gunner. So with that said, we're going to take 1 shot here with a weapon skill. I'm sorry, now we got to do ballistic skill of 4. Means we're hitting on 3. But because we are at close range with the auto pistol, let me check that. Oh, we're at +2 altogether. Oh, that's pretty good. We're only going to miss on a 1, and that'll be a strength 3. And we hit with a strength 3 hit, so this guy goes pinned, and it does not wound. So he's just going to lay down and stay pinned. He doesn't have anybody within 2 inches, so that may have saved us a little bit here. Are we done? No, we have to check for Dane. What's going to happen to you, Dane? On a 3, he stays down, and Monk E on a 4 also stays down. So that's the end of the turn for the good guys. We're going to bring... oh, no. Oh, he's wounded. We're going to run 8 inches. We're sprinting. We're just 4 inches away. On the next turn, this guy is going to be able to get inside and tag the Blackraven, and that'll be the end of the game. Meanwhile, we can move or shoot. I think... Is that the last? That's really the last guy. Oh, no, because this guy's going to stand up. Our heavy stubber, we're going to go ahead and stay on Overwatch. We might as well, because it looks like the scuttlers have got this done. Although, yeah, this guy's going to stand up and just kind of complicate things a little bit more. And that's going to be it for the scuttlers team. We could bring our shotgunner over here and put Monkey out of action. Except then, if we did that, then Cobalt would have a shot at both of these guys. On a 1, 2, or a 3, that's what's going to happen. On a 1, 2, 3, the scuttler is going to take out Monkey. So on a 4, 5, or 6, yeah, he runs over there. That way, that just kind of keep it all above board. We are playing solo here. So it is now the Blackraven's turn. The only way Magic Space Baby can stop this guy, and let's check and see, does Magic... Yeah, he does. Magic Space Baby has line of sight. If this guy had stopped, I don't know, well, I guess behind this, then there would be no line of sight. We're going to rule the Magic Space Baby's mesmerize, his hallucination power. He's going to try to grab the mind of this shotgunner. We need to roll a 6 or less. With a 5, we get it. So we roll on the hallucination table. It's not over yet. We have to roll a d6 to find out what the effect is. And on a 4, run for it. The victim is overcome with terror. His eyes widen and he starts to dribble and gibber. He's automatically broken as if he had failed a leadership test and broke his nerve. Move 2d6 away from the enemy. This constitutes the model's action movement for that turn. So we'll roll 2d6. He's going to run 6 inches away from back towards his line, and we'll bring him back 6 inches to here. That will be his movement for next turn. I think we just leave him like that. Then Cobalt is going to take a shot at this guy who's got his back turned, and once again, we are at short range, so anything but a 1. And we got a 2. So we roll to see if we wound, and on a 5 we do. This guy goes down face down, and we have to roll to see what the effect is. On a 3, he is just down. Then we roll for Dane to see if he stands up. He does not. And for Monk E, looking for either a 1 or a 6, we get neither. That is the end of the turn. How about that? See, the only guy left on his feet for the Scuttlers, that's the only motion that this guy can make. But he's going to recover his senses. So we're going to have to do that again. Does Magic Space Baby have line of sight to the guy? If we look down, the car does not block line of sight, so Magic Space Baby can still see him. Our Heavy Stubber is still defending his turf. If he can shoot down both of these figures, that'll be the end of it. In the meantime, this guy has his movement for the turn was that 6 inches that he ran away. He recovers. Heavy Stubber's doing his thing again. So Magic Space Baby is going to try to zap this fella again. We're looking for a 6 or lower. And with a 6, we get it. So we roll a d6 on the chart. And this time we get a 1. Now, on a 1, 2, or a 3, this fella is going to shake off the effects. He does not. That means we roll again. And we get a 6 this time. And a 6 on the chart is... The victim lapses into a mindless, slack-jawed state for the remainder of the encounter. Do not roll again. The figure is unharmed. So if this was one of our guys, we wouldn't have to make a roll on the recovery chart. But he takes no further action in this game. Well done. Now this is where things are going to get a little more tense than you might anticipate. We are going to move Cobalt a total of 5 inches to here. And we're going to stop right there because we need to set things up. We do need to check for... did we check? Yeah, we checked for... Did we check for that guy on his turn? I don't think we did. Let me roll for him. On a 5, he's still okay. So now we need to roll for Dane. And on a 2, nothing. And Monk E on a 2, nothing. Our Heavy Stubber stays on Overwatch. He can either move or shoot. There's no getting into a better position for him. That's going to be a problem. But the good news is, the only way that Magic Space Baby can go full scanners on him is if Magic Space Baby can see him. But if Magic Space Baby can see him, then he can shoot at Magic Space Baby. So he stays on Overwatch. Magic Space Baby says, well, I'm going to move up 8 inches to here, staying out of... Remember, he's on Overwatch, so... This is kind of what Magic Space Baby has. Magic Space Baby can kind of cheat along here, not exposing himself to fire. And then that's going to be the end of the turn. Except for except for, I forgot, when this guy went on Overwatch, this Scuttler gets to make his recovery check. A 3. And the reason we're doing this is that if this guy stands up, he has a flesh wound. He could still race over to the Blackraven. It's kind of a race to see who's going to roll 1s and 6s first. We've done our hero turn. Now we're going to roll for Dane and Monkey. And both of them are still wounded. They can crawl 2 inches. In fact, we're going to do that. We're going to crawl. Monkey is going to crawl 2, and this guy's going to crawl 2, and we're kind of moving closer to here. Lieutenant Dane is on the roof. He can't really do anything. But this is one of those like action movie things where they're both hurt and they're crawling, trying to see what's going on. So that's going to be the end of the turn for our heroes. This guy stays on Overwatch, and Magic Space Baby is going to race up to here and hide with Cobalt. We'll kind of cheat him right there, okay? Kind of get as close as we can, but we don't want to expose ourselves to this guy's fire. And then, this guy stays Overwatch. This guy rolls to recover. And on a 1, that's what I'm talking about, this guy stands up on his recovery phase. So our heroes go to here, And now Monkey is going to try to recover. He gets a 5, he does not. Dane does not, so they're still laying there. Now this guy has a flesh wound. Okay, it's this guy's turn. So he's going to race the 8 inches. Doesn't affect his move score, and he stops right there. So on the next turn, the Scuttlers are going to win this game. Unless we can find a way to stop that guy who's injured from getting there. It's up to Magic Space Baby. He's going to try to teleport Cobalt to here. We need a 6 or lower. We get off the teleport. Now, let's check the distance. If we can roll a 9 or better, then thanks to the magic of Magic Space Baby, Cobalt can teleport to this point right here. And we got it. So with that zap, reaches the space food truck, and he grabs the... Should we go full Zoomer? The Monster Energy drink? I'm more of a Celsius man myself, but apparently it's the golden ticket version of the Monster Energy drink that our heroes have now recovered. And Cobalt turns to the enemy guy and says, hey, yo, you want to go down in hand-to-hand combat after what you saw? I don't think we put a single guy down from shooting in this whole game. And the heavy stubber's like, nope, the jig is up and gone. And that's what we'll do. Now, we do have to worry about what happens to our boys that are down. The Scuttlers didn't have anybody down at the end of the game. And sometimes you want to stand your boys up just because you can avoid a roll on the serious injury. In our case, we're going to check for each of Monkey and Lieutenant Dane to find out if we roll on the injury table. On a 1, 2, or 3, they make a full recovery. So Monkey makes a full recovery. And Dane, on a 1, 2, or 3... will also make a full recovery. Hey, great. I'll take it. That's another win for us. The last thing we have to do is find out what our next mission is going to be. And to do that, we roll 2d6, and the blue die will be the tens place. And I got a 55 this time. And the 55 is Assassination, which we've already done. So I'm going to re-roll that. I don't usually do this, but it's fine. 53 this time. That's going to be Mission Deep Strike. Scenario 5-3. Deep Strike. The Proctors intend to mount a raid deep into the territory of a street gang, but they have to fight their way through assorted gangbangers hanging around on the edge of their territory. Oh, this is just a get across the board table. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to roll for advances for Monk E and Magic Space Baby. And I think we're going to need him. Monk E is rolling first. He gets an 8, which is a characteristic increase. We roll again, and on a 1 or a 2, he gets an increase to his weapon skill. So he's going to be better at shooting with that plasma pistol we haven't seen. And then Magic Space Baby is going to roll a 4, which is a new skill. Again, we're going to go with a stealth skill, and with a result of a 2, he is going to be double... Did that what we rolled last time? Dive. He can run and hide in the same turn. Normally, if you run, you can't hide. That's going to work out great for him. So tune in next time when our plucky heroes have to grab the magic, what do we call it, the golden energy drink, and run the gauntlet to get back to the Blackraven way over there on the far side of the table. Same terrain, whole new game. Man, I love this hobby. Until then, I'm praying for you.